I want to turn now to a sad note, actually. Pete Peterson passed away yesterday. Friend of Wall Street, a friend of Bloomberg, a friend of all of ours. Pete Peterson was a remarkable individual. He was 91 when he passed away. This man was CEO of Bell & Howell, the movie company, back when he was 37 years old. Then he was brought into the Nixon cabinet as Secretary of Commerce, was there when they went off the gold standard. Then he went to run Lehman Brothers and really stepped aside because he didn't want to have a fight with a traitor who wanted the job. And so he decided, why not? Let's put $200,000 together with Steve Schwartzman, whom he'd been working with there, and start Blackstone. Right. And made a couple bucks. And then after he was done with all that, he decided, let's fund the Peterson Institute that we rely on so much. He was chairman of CFR, and he was an author. It was a remarkable, really, career.
They do not make him like that anymore. I mean, and when you think about the history of Wall Street, and when you read the current history of Wall Street, there are very few people who have made this much of an imprint, and very few people who will have this sort of legacy to be attached to names like he was, to have served the government, to have served the country in a way that, now has become a little more commonplace, but was not as much back then.
And beyond all that, I mean, a Greek immigrant, son of Greek immigrants from Nebraska, very modest background, came in, and I can tell you, we all know this, a really decent man.
Yes.
A man who was full of curiosity, consideration, compassion. I mean, for all that, you'd think somebody like that, a titan ministry, would be hard as nails. That's not the Pete Peterson I knew. He was a lovely, lovely man.
Absolutely. And you think about some of these scenes of Wall Street over the past 20 years. He was there, holding court at the Four Seasons and elsewhere, and a very strong voice on fiscal responsibility right up until the end.
He wrote all those books on entitlements and said, we are really running this country into the ditch if we don't take care of entitlements. Right. And that's part of the reason he founded the Peterson Institute, was to address that issue.
And really sort of set Wall Street on a new course with the founding of Blackstone, as you mentioned, with Steve Schwartzman, which arguably is one of the most powerful and influential firms out there right now. So a lot of legacy for Pete Peterson.
And spun off BlackRock.
Yeah.
I mean, as if that's not enough.
A little bit of that, yeah.
Okay.